Hi friends, today I want to show you this full color activity book to help your kids practice grammar and punctuation skills. Now this is from Evan-Moor's Skill Sharpeners series, and let me just flip over the back of the book to show you. They have several different subjects in the Skill Sharpeners series: spelling and writing, reading, grammar and punctuation, which we're going to talk about, critical thinking, which is one of our favorites, science, very popular at our house, math, geography, another one of our favorites, and their new STEAM book. But what I love is that these start at pre-K and go all the way through 6, and they're very affordable. At the time of this recording, they're $10.99, and they also have updated them to have a downloadable teaching guide that has extension activities, that kind of has a little bit of a teacher's page for what they're teaching, as well as some other helpful things, like there's an organizer in this one for how to plan out the lessons, as well as graphic organizers for the writing activities. It's just really great. I'll pan away and show you that really quickly. Inside the cover of your Skill Sharpeners book, you're going to find a QR code. You're going to scan it or type in the website below it, and it's going to take you to the PDFs for the teaching guide. Now, this is 51 pages, and I'm going to go through this really quickly, but it is definitely a robust resource that you're going to want to check out. Inside of this guide, they've got some really great pages to tell you how to use the books, how to get more out of it. They have a sample pacing plan, and then they have a blank template for you to use. They also have some really cool graphic organizers that you can use again and again, even outside of this particular book, to use with your kids' writing projects. They also have some more information about how you can get the most out of this book and the exact layout, which I'm going to show you again in just a minute. But here's the cool thing. The very first unit I'm going to show you is about travel, and here is some extension activities that you can do with it. There is additional writing activity, and there's additional game. And so all the directions to go with both of these activities are here in this teacher's guide. They have one of these teacher's guide for all of the units. Here's the one for art, here's one for ancient civilizations, and it continues, and that's why there are 51 pages in this great teaching guide that is a downloadable resource for you. So let's get back to the book. So once you open the book, it's listed into themes, and I really like this way to approach skills because we can read books about the topics and reinforce these skills with our literature, and it's just a really fun way for us to learn. So in this 6th grade version of grammar and punctuation, the themes are travel, art, ancient civilizations, superheroes, the great outdoors, pets, sports, ocean, chores, history, gaming, animals, healthy lifestyle, magic show, and science. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you the language handbook. That is this full color little handbook that you can take out of this workbook, and you can use it to help your kids as a use as a reference for grammar punctuation rules even after they finish this particular activity book. And of course, there is a full color answer key in the back, which is really helpful. So one thing I absolutely adore about the Skill Sharpener series is how it is organized. And as far as I know, every single Skill Sharpener book that I've seen follows this pattern, in that every unit has its own color. So you can see when we get to the next unit, there's going to be a different color. And it's really easy for the kids to pace themselves using this quick visual, color coding guide. And they also have the unit name here, but there is the skill or the concept that they're going to be focusing on is actually written out at the top of each of these color bands. So it's when the kids were younger, this was just more for me as the parent or the homeschool teacher to kind of have in my mind where, I needed to kind of guide their attention for the academic vocabulary. But now that my kids are older, they read these and we talk about, could you define this? Do you know what this means? So for me, this is another teaching opportunity, especially with older kids. But the way it's organized, can you guys see that, is that the pages are pretty short, and the activities like this one is reinforcing the grammar rule and the punctuation rule for this unit. And then they have this quick activity that they do, all based around a travel theme. And this one was fun because she got to choose the words from the word box, kind of like sort of like a Mad Libs kind of a thing, or she could make up her own. So she made up a silly story, and we had fun with that. And so we go through, and you can see it's something just quick and easy, a short bit of handwriting to apply what she's learned. And so there's always an application activity within each unit to make sure they're actually using what they can do, not just, do a simple, like answer one simple question. There's also games and puzzles where they get to figure things out. So that's also really fun. And then there's a review to end the unit. And they want them to be able to explain what a noun phrase is. And we need to go back and finish that because this was her assignment today and she did not finish that. So we need to make sure that they can, use these skills before we go on. If your child doesn't know the skills by the end, this is a really great opportunity for you to find an online game. In fact, Teacher Filebox, which is Evan-Moor's digital lesson plan library, has a lot of hands-on games if you're a subscriber, and you can try it free for 14 days. I'll put a link in the description box as well. But if my child was struggling with a noun phrase, my number one thing I would do before I go on Pinterest and get lost for hours is to head over to Teacher Filebox and see what games or reinforcement activities they have over there. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole book, but this one is on art. This next unit is on art. Again, there's new concepts that we're going to be learning. They're now into verb phrases here, and we're going to be talking about a different rule for commas. And so as you can see, this is something that we can do really quickly. Now, we may continue this through the summer, but this is something that my child actually asked to do. So it's not going to be a struggle at all. It's like, have you done your grammar book or grammar punctuation? And she's like, yep, it's already done. So when that happens, you know that you've got a hit. So let me flip over to the back for just a minute to show you. I just love these colors. It's just so fun whenever the kids can have that bright vividness, especially when something that could be kind of dry, like grammar, then I don't know, I just think it's more fun. And they just do a great job with the illustrations. But here's the language handbook. And so here are all of the rules that are covered in this particular resource: adjectives, pronouns, prepositions, sentences, adverbs, and then you get into the punctuation rules. You can see there's a lot of rules for commas, dashes, parentheses, colons. Continues with semicolons, the titles of books, movies, television shows, quotation marks, and periods. And because this is the 6th grade one, this is kind of advanced grammar rules for elementary school. So I think this is something that my kids will continue to use all through middle school. Now, I really like that there's an answer key, and they even tell you if you want a larger version of it, this is how you can find that as well. So if you want to pull it up on your computer, you don't have to print out the larger version, but you can pull it up on your computer. So all of the pages that you need here. So this was the perfect follow-up to us doing the Evan-Moor Language Fundamentals to teach us those direct skills for nouns, adjectives, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, sentences, capitalization, abbreviation, punctuation, usage, and vocabulary. I really like that they have these as well. So when we finished this, it was just the perfect follow-up to use Skill Sharpeners, Grammar, and Punctuation. I definitely think that you ought to check it out. I would love to know from you, have you tried any of the Skill Sharpener books? If you have, please let me know which of these subjects are your favorites, because they're all super fun and we have found a place for each of them at certain points in our homeschooling journey for elementary school. So I would love to hear your favorites as well. Thanks so much for watching.